So Assassin's Creed Valhalla has a new release date. We're going to go right into that right now. Subscribe to the Linus Wilson channel for tips and tricks and secrets to crush open world RPGs. So it seems that Ubisoft has moved up their release date for their latest Assassin's Creed game, Valhalla, based in the Dark Ages of England and featuring a Viking protagonist, Eivor, to coincide with the Xbox Series S and Series X release date, so the next-gen console release date. So they said that their release date was November 17th in response to the news that the Xbox is coming out on November 10th, which was officially released on September 8th, 2020. On the September 9th, Ubisoft has announced that Valhalla will be available on November 10th, the Xbox Series S and X release date. The Xbox Series S is going to go for $299 for the S version, and the faster, more powerful X version is go for $499. I originally thought this was some sort of deal with Microsoft, but now I'm kind of thinking that it was more just good business sense on the part of Ubisoft, that they want people playing their game first on the new consoles, and they want to get the jump on Cyberpunk 2077, which is due out on November 19th. So they want the people getting the new consoles to be starting playing their game and not having time to play Cyberpunk 2077. Now on this channel I said I'm not planning on playing on Cyberpunk 2077 because we do swords games, not shooter games, and I like the Assassin's Creed franchise. I haven't played through any of them, but I liked what little I played of Odyssey, and I certainly like Ghost of Tsushima, which is not an Assassin's Creed game, but has been called Assassin's Creed Japan. The other thing I think is to take out of this is that I was surprised last week that Immortals Fenyx Rising, aka Gods and Monsters, was going to release this year. I did not think that was going to happen, but it seems like that is the rumor. We'll get that probably confirmed on September 10th at the Ubisoft Forward event, which is not going to feature Valhalla, but should feature more news about Immortals Fenyx Rising from the creators of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's a kind of more cartoony, more fantasy version of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That was another game that I was thinking of playing this year, and I'm not 100% I will, and maybe not even 50%, but spreading out the dates between Valhalla and Immortals Fenyx Rising makes it more feasible that people will jump to Immortals Fenyx Rising once they get through Valhalla. You know, Valhalla is going to be a big game. It's supposed to be at least comparable to the huge game Odyssey. There's also going to be DLCs. So I think that, you know, you're not going to be done with Valhalla unless you don't like it by the time Cyberpunk comes out, but there's a chance that some folks will be done with it by the time early December rolls around, if there's a 4-week gap between it and Immortals Fenyx Rising. You know, I think the other thing about the announcement, it seemed like there was some sort of Xbox exclusive deal when I first saw the tweet, but then when I read it more closely, no, it's totally not exclusive. It says you can play it on the PS4. Probably Microsoft did get them to put PS4 on there instead of PS5, and you know, maybe there's a small deal, but it's not a very big deal. I suspect that it will be bundled with the Xbox, and so I'm kind of holding my breath on the bundles there, if that's a tremendous deal. I think the S series is a tremendous deal, but Microsoft is really pushing this Xbox All Access. I'm not a big fan of that. That's not the way that I play games, and they don't have any games on there that I am interested in, and I hate monthly fees. So if you're not going to be playing the Xbox All Access, which is their 24 months of Game Pass, then the financing options at $25 a month or $35 a month for the S versus X amount to about $6.50 and 5.7% interest rate respectively on these things if you don't value the online games. I also don't like online games. I don't like to have a service. I don't like to pay for the cloud. I like to have it on my hard drive and know what it costs. But I think those are kind of expensive loans to me, and I would definitely go for the cash price. I think the Xbox Series S is a tremendous value if you need a console, if you pay cash. But the downside of it is that it has no disk drive, so your digital games only, and it has a pretty small hard drive of 0.5 terabyte. So you either going to have to get storage for it, or you're going to have to store your stuff on the cloud, which is what Microsoft really wants you to do. They want you to sign up for their monthly service, and they want you to store your games on the cloud, and I don't like doing either one of those. I don't have any immediate plans to upgrade any of the consoles, although I do think the consoles are priced aggressively, that they are loss leaders for the companies Microsoft and Sony, that they really think they're going to make money off the games, either selling the games through their store and getting a cut of that, or the Game Pass, a monthly fee, such as with the Xbox All Access. But if I do buy Valhalla and start covering it, I'm probably going to play it on the PS4 at launch. We don't know the PS4 launch date. I suspect it's going to be later than the Xbox One, but they've been in this waiting game. The waiting game's kind of stopped with Microsoft coming out with it. We're 2 months away from the next gen. They really can't wait beyond Thanksgiving in Sony's case, because obviously they want people to be buying this for Christmas. I don't think Xbox has any really exclusives, and this was one more, I think, kind of bad news for Xbox, that Valhalla is not going to be exclusive at all, not even for a week. I thought originally it was going to be exclusive for a week, but nope. Valhalla is going to be released on all platforms right away. And really logistically, playing Valhalla on the Xbox Series S, if you want to play on day one, you might or might not get your console on day one. Longer term, obviously the PS5, the PlayStation has the advantage here because they have the content, they have the studios that they own and their exclusive content, such as Ghost of Tsushima, and in the case of the PS5, is going to be like Horizon Forbidden West is probably going to be one of the big exclusives people are going to be excited about coming out next year. So if I max out the hard drive on my PS4, I'm more likely to spend more money to get the PS5, because I think they'll probably come out with a game that I'm interested in versus an Xbox, which is not going to have any exclusive games that I'm interested in. Microsoft with the Xbox is really wants the monthly service, and they're not really concerned about consoles, and they don't care if you own a PC and play on a PC or if you play on a console. And in that sense, they have given up on the console war, and they're playing a new game. They want to be the next Disney Plus, essentially. I'm Linus Wilson. Subscribe.